When the FBI raided my home, I asked them, what do you think warrants all of this? And the investigator said, you connect people. And I would like all of you to join me in that effort.
I'm hoping, I'm seeing that we'll come together united, is that we need to do a land acknowledgement statement to open our rallies here. That the Newt people were forced out of this valley in 1862 by the U.S. Calgary at gunpoint and marched to Utah. And if we don't think that's kind of what's happening now to us, and we've been told that all along, if we don't pay attention to what's happening to the Native people and to minorities and how they're pitting us against each other, then we're not paying attention to how the buildup has come, which is why we're here in Aspen today, countering the Ideas Fest, where it's this group of beautiful people, mostly women warriors, I want to say, I noticed in the crowd, myself included, probably mothers and grandmothers, who are saying enough.
And they're being told what to do by these people that are sitting right here in Aspen right now that think they know better. Christy Hutchison and I were doing a live show earlier today, and we were going through the menu of events that they have, that they're talking about, and one of them was interpreting the Constitution. We were laughing. We're like, really? They step on that document. They've thrown it away. They don't even consider it anything relevant at this point because they have lawyers running the country. The Constitution was designed so that we, the people, could run the country. We have a duty, folks. We have a duty to stand up, to protect God's temple that he gave us, to know that his immune system he designed for us is perfect. We can use the natural foods and supplements to cure anything that ails us because they're continually ailing us all the time right now just by breathing this air, unfortunately.
Any event or gathering that is a counter event to continued fallacy pushing and agenda pushing is necessary and critical to maintaining our stance and encouraging one another. When you might feel like the minority, you are the majority.
But I'm confident that the people are coming and the people are rising, and it's not necessarily that we need a majority of people. We need to get to that critical mass of people who have that energy, who are looking to win this war, not with bullets and missiles and bombs, but with compassion and love and communication.
An educated person is a powerful person. And I want to repeat that. An educated person in the right way with real information, true facts, is a powerful person. And that's the reason why Aspen Fact Fest. And by the way, this is going to be one of many, I hope. And it's not just in Aspen. We need to start taking this to every single globalist elite location throughout the world and say no more, not on our watch. We're not going to allow your propaganda to spread, your disinformation, your lies to spread anymore. Because the reason why they've been allowed to do everything that they've been allowed to do, quite frankly, is because we haven't shown up. We haven't spoke up. And we haven't stepped up.
This is not right. Like, people are telling me I can't shop and I don't have a functional immune system, and I choose to go to the zoo with my children and I choose to let them live a life in spite of my own supposed weaknesses medically, and that is my freedom of choice. Now, other immunocompromised people.
All right, everybody. Well, welcome back to America's Mom. That was a flashback to the June Aspen Fact Fest that we ran in parallel to the Aspen Ideas Fest. If you haven't been paying attention, guys, there's a globalist agenda that is seeking to steal your rights and sell them out to the highest bidder, namely the CCP. Guys, we are marching slowly to Marxism and communism. This is no longer hyperbole. It's not hyperbolic. We know the president of the United States, at least the sitting one in the White House over there, has sold us out to China. At least $10 million worth, but the number is climbing every single day. Welcome to America's Mom. We're here to fight the good fight and to empower all of you so that you can take charge in your own backyard. That's what this is really all about. And we're going to kick it off with something pretty serious right away. Citizen journalists are everywhere. People are paying attention. Their eyes are wide open. And just before we started this show today, I got a message from one of our good friends, beautiful conservative on IG, Jeff and Amy Powers, our good friends, who are on their way to New Mexico when they saw this. as you can see, that's an awful lot of vehicles. And those aren't just any vehicles. Jeff and Amy, thank you guys for joining us today on America's Mom. What in the world? You guys are driving to New Mexico. Those are armored tanks.
Yeah, those are armored military vehicles. There was probably over 100, along with some different transports and things like that. Some medic vehicles, quite a few of those, and a lot of military equipment headed west on Interstate 40, probably headed towards Albuquerque. We're not that far, but we're about just a few miles from Fort Sumter. I don't think they were headed there, but yeah, it was quite alarming to see well over a mile, a straight minute, as you saw, a whole minute of those of that military equipment being taken down the transported. So it's makes you wonder for sure, with all the other military movements you've seen in Idaho Falls, Idaho, and other places across the U.S. right now. There's a lot of unusual military movement happening. So it definitely makes you wonder.
You know, it's interesting because the last time we saw this was right after the 2020 election. Everybody was saying there are military vehicles being moved everywhere. We didn't know what it was about then. Now we know they were shipping those across the waters to Ukraine to help fund and help facilitate the takedown of Russia. I wonder, what do you guys think? Did you see any special numbering on there? Is there anything that you've seen since you saw those passing that might give you some idea where they were going? I mean, we don't need 100 tanks at Fort Sumter.
Yeah, we tried to get some identifying marks. They were going about 60 miles an hour. It's kind of tough to see, but I was specifically looking for blue anywhere on them, but I didn't really see that. So they were unmarked, even with battalion numbers, things like that. Yeah. They were pretty unmarked. They didn't look American entirely to me. So.
Well, that's curious. Let's run that one more time. Everybody hit the share button right now, wherever you're at. If you're on Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're at, Frank's speech, share it out right now. I'm going to run that one more time. Everybody take a good look at this. You can zoom in a little bit on your end also. Get a little closer look there. I mean, that's kind of alarming. You're driving back to your home and you see all these armored vehicles. I've never actually witnessed that. I've seen all the videos from 2020, as we all did. I mean, how did you feel in your spirit when you watched that?
Just like, whoa, okay, something weird's going on.
We were just watching a podcast on the different weapons our government uses against us, and a transport.
So we happened to look over, and sure enough, we were able to get into a town and kind of get ahead of it, so we could get that footage there, just so people could really understand the scale and the volume of equipment that was being moved at that time. So it was pretty alarming. Now there are military transports that happen all the time, but something of that scale was definitely something different.
Well, I think about President Trump just issuing the most recent public statement saying to the people, we will not comply, and that this administration is leading us directly into World War III. So when I see videos like what you guys personally captured, that's firsthand, watching that happen in real time, well over 100 armored vehicles, not looking quite American, wondering where they're supposed to be going to. What do you guys think when you think of President Trump saying this administration, it doesn't want peace?
Nope, this is the administration of disruption, chaos, and confusion. And so that is what is happening in people's hearts and minds, just a complete deterioration of the security that we feel as Americans. And it's alarming to say the least, for sure.
Michelle Joyner tells us on our live feed that in Georgia, near the Army Ranger Station, they've been doing more maneuvers than usual also. So this is interesting. I mean, this is what we count on. You guys, the regular people out there who are watching these things, you are the media. You're the truth tellers now. When you see it, film it and bring it straight to us. Jeff and Amy, I can't thank you guys enough for reaching out. This is definitely alarming, and I appreciate you guys sharing this information today.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, thanks for having us on. And it was just by happenstance. We just happened to be in the right place at the right time to be able to capture that. So.
I'll say the irony of listening to a podcast about all the weapons the government has formed against you.
Yeah, we hit pause on that podcast so we could see what was happening. Yeah,
I tell you, that's
pretty
uncanny.
crazy.
That is uncanny. I
Yeah,
read a book about that once.
yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Wow, this is interesting. If anyone else is seeing this kind of military movement around your state or your community, film it and send it over to us. You're the journalist now. You the citizens who are capturing this stuff. You're the journalist. We may not know exactly the context just yet, but I think that on a local level, the military needs to tell us what is going on so that the people aren't so concerned where we don't need to be concerned. But this is fascinating. Everybody who can take a closer look at that video, take a look at the armored vehicles that are on there, see what you think. Some of you are going to know a lot more than I am about what exactly is going on and what potentially those vehicles are going to be used for. Again, in 2020, we didn't know that we were saddling up to fight the Third World War between Russia and Ukraine, between NATO and Russia. We didn't know that. And all of those machines that were being sent abroad are, oh man, I think about all the millions and millions and millions of dollars of waste, billions of dollars that has been sent to Ukraine to fight Russia in a fake war. So this is crazy. Yeah. Thank you guys for sharing what you're sharing and what you guys are putting out there. Keep doing it. Make sure you're tagging us at America's Mom on all of the platforms. Let us know what's going on and we'll bring you on to share your story. And speaking of stories, we started out today with Aspen Fact Fest. I want to dial back for just a moment, spend some time with Mel K today. Got to be on her podcast talking about elections and what's happening across the country. If you can't feel the sizzle in the air by now, and if you don't feel this friction that's happening in the air between the globalist Marxists, which, by the way, our universities have been breeding for years, the question came up the other day. Should university professors who are proclaimed communists be allowed to teach in our universities? And I think right out the gate, I say, not if they're publicly funded. Of course not. Why are we giving honor? Why are we giving respected positions to people whose methodology has never worked? And in fact, it has resulted in the death of billions of people across history. Why would we do that? Why are they thinking that all of a sudden in America that these kids are being lulled into believing that all of a sudden communism will work for the very first time ever in its history? It's alarming what's happening here. But if you can't feel that friction that's coming up between the communists, the globalists, and then us freedom loving people, and I say freedom loving people, specifically us Americans, but all around the world, we've had 56 countries now fall to the machines, not to authentic, real elections where people selected globalists to be their leaders, but to these black box election machines. And we showed you guys yesterday that for the first time, Brian Kemp came out saying that machines are actually hackable. It was the first time he's been willing to publicly say this. And I tell you, these policies that they continue to put out on us that ruin our lives, that hurt us, that cause us to have to take a stand aren't the worst things, because it is dividing the wheat from the tares. It is. It's showing us who's legit, who's real, who's really in the fight, who really loves this country, who really understands what's going on, and those who don't. And speaking of that, I have my good friend Claire Dunn with us. We're going to close our program today with one of her new songs that's going to be hitting the airwaves here very soon. She is a phenomenal performer, incredible talent. She was Country Music Vocalist of the Year. She was riding the high wave until she turned down the label because she was not about to go woke. I think she just lost her connection. We'll give her just a second. But I can't say enough good things about Claire and what she's done. We've had her at our Freedom Fest that we've done in several states now, because she really is the epitome of the person who understands what's on the table, what's on the chopping block. Not only is she using her position to advocate for morals and values and agriculture and real life issues, but hi, Claire, now you're out there helping and supporting families who've been hit by tornadoes and standing up for your local citizens. Welcome to America's Mom again.
Oh, thanks for having me, Sherronna. I just love you to death and love what you do. And thanks for all you do for our country. We're doing,
Claire.
we're
Claire.
doing, listen, don't get me started. I will keep going. I just
Tell us what you're up to, because not only do you have a great new hit, I can't wait. I'm going to play it at the end. It's going to see us out today. You have a great new hit coming up. Your Colorado song was amazing. I love all of them, but you're doing more than that. You are not a taker. You are a giver.
Well, sure, trying to be. It's definitely hard times out here in this ridiculous economy we have, and especially in agriculture, where the ag economy has been hit so hard for the past 30 or 40 years. So we have some very dear, may as well be family. They're neighbors of ours, they're ranchers and friends of our family, and they lost their entire farm, their home, their barns, their equipment, their vehicles in an F3 tornado back in June. And this tornado was truly a freak of nature because it was on the ground for almost an hour. It was about a half a mile wide, and it was one of the slowest moving tornadoes on record. It only moved 10 miles. So it sat over their home. It was pure evil. It sat over their home for about 2.5 minutes, and it destroyed everything, and it's one thing just to survive in agriculture, but they've been building their home, building their barns in their spare time over the last 50 years. They're in their 70s, and it's all gone. The insurance companies are not coming to the table like they should be. It's a fight there. And of course, with this massive inflation we have, I mean, to replace their home is going to be a massive amount of money that they don't have laying around. And so we're just trying to come together as a community out here, like Americans do. We get pitted as the bad guys all around the world all the time, and that's not who the American people are. Maybe the politicians, but not us. And there's no bailout for us. There's no FEMA. There's no nothing for them because they were the only family hit. So Southeast Colorado, and really all across Colorado, and now the nation, thanks to people like you, are helping donate to the cause. And we're doing this benefit concert on Saturday in Lamar, Colorado. If you have a chance of making it, please do. It's going to be a throwback night of Americana, all the things that we all love so much, and celebrating this family that we still have here with us. Every dime goes to them. I'm not getting paid. No one's getting paid. We have to cover expenses. Those are covered thanks to our sponsors, but we still need donations, and we just need people to spread the word because, we haven't reached our goal yet, but we sure hope to. And this family sure could use our help.
Let me ask you, dollars wise, do we have any estimation on the value of these people's lives over the last 50 years?
Oh, my connection must be not great. Say that one more time. I'm so sorry, Sherronna.
No problem. So if we were to gauge what the cost is to restore these people, their farm, their barns, all that, what would that look like?
Well, what they're being told is it would be to replace in today's terms, it would be several $1,000,000. And we're hoping just to at least help offset the cost of building the house, because the house, first of all, was underinsured. I mean, farmers would go out of business if they carried insurance for everything, but the home was very much underinsured, and especially with inflation, it's going to be a massive undertaking to get it back. So several $1,000,000 in total.
Okay, so this is for the Duval family. Where can people go and fund, support, find you, of course? Where can they go to?
Yes, please go to claredunn.com, CLAREDUNN.com/Duval benefit. That's DUV as in Victor, ALL benefit. You can buy a ticket there. You can donate. The ways to donate: click on where it says get tickets, click again where it says get tickets now, and then scroll down, and there's a donation box, and we really appreciate every dollar. It sure means a lot. And thank you guys so very much for the support.
Awesome. We have about 1.5 million people that watch this program. So everybody goes and contributes $1. There you go. But I know more of us can do more than that. So go and share, go give a donation. There's a lot of people needing right now. And if we have it to give, we need to do it. Thank you for using your time and your talent, Claire. I mean, you're one of the most talented women I have ever seen. I'm so thankful that you know the right way. And we've talked a lot about what you've done and what your life has been like before. But I really want people to understand you left a label because you needed to be able to be right. You needed to be able to do the right thing and adhere to your American values. So I just want you to know how much we appreciate you for that.
Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot to, being able to be helpful in this situation. I hate that it's under these circumstances, but this is what having a platform is all about, and using it for the good of our country and our fellow American.
You're awesome. Thank you so much, Claire Dunn. We'll see you soon.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sherronna.
All right. Wow. You know, the Duvall family isn't so rare anymore. I mean, this is happening all over the place. Just yesterday, an article was published on inflation costs in Colorado, and they have gone up. The housing costs have gone up over 300% since 2019, making it almost impossible for newly young married couples to buy a home. I mean, it's literally, if you made $60,000 a year, you would have to make over $150,000 a year to be able to just buy a very simple 2-bed, 1-bath house to get your life started. That is what has happened to Colorado under the reign and terror of supposed libertarian Jared Polis. He is the first openly homosexual governor, which we probably wouldn't care that much, except he's destroyed all of our lives there, from oil and gas to coal to families, now offering free preschool so long as they can teach gender ideology to 3-year-olds. So that's what's happening in Colorado. Thank God for great people like Claire and the Duvall family. Please go make a contribution to them. Imagine if it was you and this was your life being turned upside down. You've always done what's right. You've lived on the land. You've done and lived this American dream. And in 1 2.5-minute foul swoop, it's all gone. This is the time we get to see who we really are in America. So thank you to Claire for all she does. I'm going to share a little something with you guys because the power of the American spirit is alive and well. I'm going to share this with you. This actually, my boy said, Mom, you have got to share this because it is amazing and your viewers will love it. Let's see what the crazy people in this world are doing and how they're doing it. You guys ready for this? Take a watch.
Your front door, you are gonna want more. Something fresh, so brand new. Something you can't handle. Light the fire like a candle. There's nothing that you can't do. Cashews, everything around me. Gotta be a y'all. Cashews, everything around me. Holla how you feel, dog. I don't know about you. Why one, hop out two. Jump in, hop out two. Watch what I say and how I do it.
If you don't love me now, you gon' love me tomorrow. If you don't love me now, you gon' love me tomorrow. Get it.
You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. Talk is cheap, shit. I love that. Tongue in cheek, yeah, you like that.
Put it out, push it right back.
Look out for me, I'm on the right track. Super, 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 super cool. Who that in the pool? Splash on all you fools. All game but new rules. Cash rules everything around me. Dollar bill, dog. Cash rules everything around me. Holla how you feel, dog. I don't know about you. Why one, hop out two. Jump in, hop out two. Watch what I say and how I do it.
If you don't love me now, you gon' love me tomorrow. If you don't love me now, you gon' love me tomorrow. Get it. If you don't love me now, you gon' love me tomorrow. If you don't love me now, you gon' love me tomorrow. Get it.
You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. Look around me. Gotta feel y'all. Around me. How you feel? Yeah, get it, you see it at your front door. You are gonna want more. Something fresh, so brand new. Something you can't handle. Like the fire, like a candle. There's nothing that you can't do.
Going nuts, that's cashews.
Cashews, everything around me. Dollar bill, y'all. Cashews, everything around me. Holla how you feel, dog. I don't know about you. Why one, hop out two. Jump in, hop out two. Watch what I say and how I do it.
If you don't love me now, you gon' love me tomorrow. If you don't love me now, you gon' love me tomorrow. Get it.
You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me.
Oh my gosh. I tell you what, the human spirit is really something, isn't it? We on this side of the fight, those who understand discipline, we understand hard work. We know we have to take care of what we love and what belongs to us. All those little videos there and leading down to the very last one, parkour is incredible. I love watching that because it just reminds me that there's nothing we can't do if we set our minds to it, if we really want to see it happen. It's incredible to watch the human spirit on display. I want to thank you all for joining us today on America's Mom. We're going to have great guests with us tomorrow. We will be sitting down here with Erin Lee, the mother out of Colorado Springs. A new documentary actually is coming out featuring her story and many others. And then, of course, Texas Board of Education member Julie Pickren is going to be joining us tomorrow to talk about the new Texas laws. And I encourage all of you across the country to make sure you join us, because you're going to want this legislation, these actual bills, to be able to take them and apply them to your own state. That's what this is about. We're sharing information so you have a pathway forward to protect what belongs to you. I want to thank you guys for being with us. Remember, today's show is brought to you by the legend Mike Lindell and the MyPillow store, as well as mystore.com. Use the code MOM. Every time you shop, you are shopping for American values. You are shopping with American manufacturers and supporting American workers. Go to mypillow.com. The Giza sheets are incredible. We have the dog bed for our gorgeous maybe, our Roddy baby. And then, of course, we all use we all use My Pillows. But if you haven't tried the 2.0s yet, you are missing out. Somebody said it's time for Mike to make another pillow. Well, he did. It's called the 2.0. Go check it out. Use the code word MOM. I want to thank you guys for being with us today on America's Mom, because if it isn't for you, we don't have what we need. We can't get done what we need to get done. I want to remind you, if you have a great story, send it over to contactamericasmom@gmail.com. And folks, until then, remember, all that is necessary for evil to prevail is for good men and women to do absolutely nothing. We will see you back here next time. Thank you for being with us on America's Mom.